to the channel and welcome back to the Juicy Bits. If it's your first time, please consider subscribing, join the fam. We'd absolutely love to have you. And guys, it's time to find out what went down on WWE Smackdown tonight. So dive in, grab your popcorn, and let's get into the Juicy Bits. Bobby Lashley. What you gonna do now, Bobby? What you gonna do? Now join the blue brand. That's right, you've been drafted to the blue brand. What you gonna do there, huh? What? You're going to go out there and attempt to hurt people? Huh? You're gonna make that your business? I'm just curious, Bobby. Are you going to go there and be almighty? Because if you're going to the blue brand, if you're going to SmackDown to do those things, well, you've got my blessing. Good for you. But if you go there and you don't take down Roman Reigns in the process, well, you and I, Bobby, are going to have a little chat over the phone in different countries far away in a hidden location where, in case you don't like what I have to say, you can't hurt me. Hurt me. Stop laughing, Drew McIntyre. You think you're somehow going to get excluded out of this conversation because just because you were drafted to just because you were drafted to the red brand Raw doesn't mean that you've gotten some get out of jail free card. In fact, on contraire, because I personally want to see you, Clay, more. Like, do it more often. You get it, Clay? More? It sounded funnier in my head. But the point is I want you to go there and I want you to put the sword of victory in thy hand, my friend. I want you to win. I want you to go over there and do great things. And Drew McIntyre, these rumors I'm hearing about you possibly not resigning or something because you're not getting paid what you want or whatever, I don't know, allegedly, yada, yada, yada. Let's just say, Drew, that it would behoove you to just sign the contract and stay for all of us fans, because if you don't, I'm going to be calling you too. From a shuttle, heading up to space. One-way trip to Mars, so you can't clay more me too. Good talk. The show started with Triple H, the game, coming out, and it was always going to be a really exciting show. Everyone on the edge of their seat, because it's the draft, ladies and gentlemen. The draft's officially on its way. It's going to continue until Monday on Raw, and I can't wait to find out who else gets drafted, because now it started off very interestingly. You see, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, and your tribal chief Roman Reigns were drafted together as a package deal to SmackDown. So they didn't really go anywhere. But the interesting thing is, neither did the Usos. You see, the Usos wasn't part of said package deal. Now, that's gotta get you a little bit wondering about the bloodline, doesn't it? Does that mean the bloodline is on their finish line? Or does it just mean that the Usos, well, they're just, yeah, they're screwed. They're screwed. Moving on, the draft, WWE Smackdown. the next draft pick was Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes drafted to Raw. That was something that you knew was going to happen because they want to keep Roman and Cody apart right now. They're not ready to have their rematch yet. They want to keep them apart. And who knows what might happen now. Cody Rhodes could potentially be the very first world heavyweight champion. Because you see, guys, now that Roman Reigns has been drafted to SmackDown, well, that means that the new world heavyweight belt will now live on WWE Raw. So we're going to get, at the Night of Champions, a new WWE Raw world heavyweight champion. And it's going to be really cool because there's a lot of potentials that wasn't a thought before the draft, but now is, like Drew McIntyre and some other people who are now on Raw. Like, I'll talk more about that later, but let me know in the comments below, are you excited that Cody Rhodes is still on Raw and that he might, just might be the very first world heavyweight champion? Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion, is no longer the Raw Women's Champion. Well, she is technically, but she isn't because she is now drafted to the Blue brand. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today's draft, we found out that Bianca Belair is now going to be your WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. Unless somehow Ripley doesn't get drafted. And then that would be awkward. And yeah, what would they do then? Are they going to make a new belt again? You can't make a new belt every time to solve your problems. Well, you can if you're WWE. You can do whatever you want. But anyways, I think what's going to happen is Rhea's going to end up on Raw. And they'll just switch the titles around and pretend like nothing even happened. Anyways, let me know. Are you guys excited to see Bianca Belair on the Blue brand? Let me know in the comments below.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
The man, Becky Lynch, drafted to Raw. This is going to be a really just interesting and exciting thing to see the man moving forward. What will the man do now that she doesn't have to worry about fighting with Damage Control every week? What will happen? This is the whole storyline now with Trish and all these type of things, you know, like where's this all going to go if the Bianca Belairs and the everybody else's are now all swappy doozy all over the place? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much difference that's going to be had on the shows. The storylines, do they continue, or do people who are part of these stories get put over on, you know, the other brands so that they can continue these storylines? Or do they just be like, well, hey, the drafted, that was past history, we'll start a new story over here? So we're really excited to see what happens. I'm so excited about this, guys. Are you excited about the draft? I mean, this is really cool. I'm really enjoying the vibes too with the draft. It's pretty entertaining, and I can't wait to see what happens on Raw. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to see the man, Becky Lynch, on Raw? Let me know. So one of the highlights of the night was a promo that the Usos started out doing where they're like, Roman Reigns, he ain't messaged us since we lost. He ain't even messaged us in a text. He ain't messaged us in a letter. He ain't messaged us in a bottle. They were freaking flowing. And it was so much fun. I was just rolling with them, you know, because they were just freaking like, you know, they cut good promos, right, the Usos. And it was a really good segment. But, of course, Sammy and KO had to come out. And Sammy's like, yo, don't you find it odd that Roman hasn't contacted you at all? Like, does that ring any, like, alarm bells in your head? Oh, and by the way, I mean, the fact that you weren't drafted along with Solo and Paul Heyman, like, does that not say, like, you know, what is on the situation? And he's like, you know, breaking it down, and you can see Jay, like, Jay is actually kind of like thinking about it a bit more, but Jimmy is all like, oh, well, you know, KO's going to leave you when you lose. And KO just erupts like, I'm so sick of this. I'm tired of it. Look, I just can't wait to beat you guys so that we can keep our titles and move on and blah, blah, blah. But look, its segment was so good because they're telling the story. This is storytelling at its best. It's still little bits and pieces, and it's just really nice to see a long story continue to progress, especially this one because it's a really good story. Like, this is just juicy. I love it. Hey, it's juicy. That's why it's on the juicy bits. High five. Nope. Not a little one. Boop, boop. No. Okay, moving on. The big story is LA Knight got a W. That's right, LA Knight beat Butch. Now, some might say, well, he beat Butch, but Butch is a really good competitor. And beating Butch is better than losing to everyone else, which he had been doing for a while there. So shout out to LA Knight for getting the W on Butch with some good old blunt force trauma. Yeehaw! Well, you know, he's awesome. I love LA Knight. Yeah. Yeah. I made this awkward, didn't I? I never get enough of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman just cuts the best promos without even attempting to break a sweat. He's just so good at it. They were backstage, and it was the Usos, it was Solo, and Paul Heyman's like, tonight is the night. And he's, you know, saying one thing to the Usos, but he's looking at Solo, and they're connecting, and they're completely talking about something completely different. So it's hinted that basically, if the Usos don't win, then they're going into the garbage bin. And if they lose, then they're going to snooze. But if they win, then they're in. But if they lose, then they're going to snooze, hit snooze, you know, because Solo's got their number. And Heyman's giving him the tape so that he could tape up his, you know, freaking Samoan Spike thumb. Because I guess they're about to get spiked if they don't do what's right tonight. Because tonight is the night. That's what he kept saying throughout the promo. Rob Van Dam and Michael Haynes was special guests. I said Haynes, I meant Hayes. Just get that right. Today's Michael Hayes. But they were guest presenters, and it was really cool to see Rob Van Dam because, well, hey man, he's legit one of the great ones, and it would have been nice to see him come back and run a little more quick stint in WWE. Maybe it will happen, I don't know. But nonetheless, we got to hear the crowd just absolutely get excited for RVD. And I was excited too, and I was doing this with them. So, you know, good times. But yeah, special guest presenters on the draft. Nice touch, H. Nice touch. Street Profits drafted to SmackDown. Imperium drafted to Raw. Edge drafted to SmackDown. Matt Riddle drafted to Raw. I mean, this is like starting to become really interesting. Like, I don't know what's going to happen now that you've got Street Profits on the blue brand, but let me tell you, I think there's a very good chance that they're going to get over there and they're going to just be wanting all the smoke. Because, you know, they want the smoke, you know, because they do the, we want the smoke. Anyhow, Imperium going to Raw, which is going to be really good. Imperium Intercontinental Championship, Gunther. So that means he's going to, become the U.S. champion, or they're just going to swap him over? I think they'll just swap him over. I don't think they're really too fussed about those ones, so they'll probably just be like they never left. Be good. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited. Edge, good to see that he was actually drafted, you know, part of the draft, because he is, I know, kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out now. I think, you know, he's about on his way out of wanting to end his career on his terms, as he said. So it's good to see that by him being drafted, that means we're probably going to get him for at least another year, maybe, or so. And I'm excited to see it. I'm all in for it because, you know, now SmackDown is rated R, and I'm old enough to watch rated R stuff now, so. Yeah, moving on. Matt Riddle drafted to Raw, so that's cool. Already thought he was on Raw. Was he? Because I've just seen him everywhere. Since he's come back, he's been Raw, he's been SmackDown, he's been Raw, SmackDown. But I think Riddle was always Raw originally. Yeah, now I think about it, RK Bro, Raw. Yeah, so he's just drafted back home. So, cool. I like that. Yeah. Bro. Street Profits, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and LWO, aka Latino World Order, they had a match together. It was super exciting because LWO came out with Viva la Rasta. They actually had a tribute to Eddie Guerrero. Like, their new theme song is fire. Definitely sounds very Eddie Guerrero inspired, and I'm all in on it. LWO feels like a big deal now. That's super cool. But sometimes being a big deal doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the big W. And it was the Street Profits that won. And it was always going to be that super high flying frog splash where he's like waving at airplanes and like pelicans and all kinds of stuff as he, makes his descent back down to the ground. It's so cool. I mean, this dude gets mega air, man. Like, he's just up there. I mean, some people might say he's fly. Anyway, so yeah, Street Profits got the W, which is good because they're now part of the Blue brand, and what better way to start off them on the Blue brand than with a W. There were some more guest presenters on the show of shows. Well, the show of it's a show of mini shows of episodes of SmackDown. And so, anyways, Teddy Long, let's go, and JBL were guest presenters for the draft. I'm really loving this. I love that Triple H didn't do the entire thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Triple H, but mixing it up and getting some other legends there to help present, I think that's awesome. That's a nice touch. And I was hoping, because I heard rumors about Teddy Long coming back, and I was really hoping that Teddy was going to be drafted to SmackDown or something himself, and he could be like, yeah, player, Undertaker, player. Yeah, so anyways, that didn't happen. He presented. I'm really excited, though. This is just really cool, just this draft thing. What's going to happen next, no one knows. So you better keep it locked and loaded right here so you're in the loop, okay? Oh, God. And some other awesome draft news. The OC is back, ladies and gentlemen. The OC is not only back, but AJ Styles, who's part of said OC, is also back. Looking good, mind you. I'll talk about more of that later. But you've got the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Minchin. They all are back, and it is super awesome to see. And let me tell you guys, well, I'm not going to tell you yet. I'm going to tell you later, but I'll just give you a sneak peek. But, yo, they came out like $1 million, guys. Like, really freaking just absolutely cool to see. And I'm all in on it, man. I'm super excited to see what happens now that we've got the OC back, and most importantly, AJ Styles, because I'm a huge Styles fan. Let's go! Also, The Miz is staying on Raw. Yeah. Zelina Vega versus Sonya Deville had a match, and this is one of those type of situations where you think, oh gosh, come on. Let Zelina get a win, please. But guess what? It wasn't that type of situation because, well, Zelina, she got the win on her own momentum, like the roll-up kind of momentum where you're rolling. And she rolled up, got the win. Hey, a win's a win. It doesn't matter how you win and where you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's still winning. I learned that from one of my favorite favorite racer guys. Anywho, yeah, so winning's winning, and she did just that until she wasn't really winning much more after that because, well, Rhea Ripley decided to interrupt the situation. She completely decided that she was going to attack Zelina from behind. I mean, when you're like big and powerful and scary like Rhea Ripley, like, do you really need to do sneak attacks? I guess the element of surprise always works, so hey, more power to her. Plus, I love Rhea Ripley. She can do no wrong by me, so I love you. And And Rhea Ripley then decided to take out Sonya Deville with a massive headbutt because Sonya was going to go up. Come on, Sonya. Sometimes you just got to know that you're in over your head. Because Rhea head. Butter. And then, just when you thought that Zelina was going to end up being the other butt of the joke. Butt of the joke. Yeah, that didn't happen. Basically, so Rhea went for a Riptide, and it was Zelina who reversed Uno'd it and managed to DDT Rhea. Wow. Imagine that. And she hightailed it out of the ring after that. She was like, I'm out. There's too many people here who can hurt me. I'm gone. Yay, got lucky. Let me get out of here. That was really cool to see, though. I like seeing Zelina get some love. You know, she is awesome, and I'm glad that now she's getting pretty good storyline. I think she's got some good use being part of LWO. That's only going to make her a bit more relevant, and I love it. And love seeing Rhea any day, anytime, because she's awesome. And yeah, Sonya Deville was there. Oh yeah, Chelsea Green was there somewhere too. She was scared, just on the outside by the announce table, because she was like, no, don't hurt me, no, 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 oh, no. Yeah, that happened. Alrighty then. And one of my most absolute favorite parts of the night, AJ Styles and the OC returned to in-ring action, so to speak, because there was the Viking Raiders that came down, and they wanted to start some trouble. They were like MJ, you know, want to be starting something. So yeah, anyways, they were wanting to start some trouble, and AJ was like, y'all ain't that bright, basically, because there's like 3 of you and 4 of us, but I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hang back. So it's 3-on-3, basically. That's what he was doing. And then he got up on the ring, like it was really cool. He's like the corner of the ring, and he just got there, sat down. He goes, yo, OC, handle your business. It was dope, man. It was actually really cool. And then OC beat down Viking Raiders, and that was good to see them get the beat down. And then after that happened, it was basically AJ Styles saying, yo, we just get started. We've just started. And then they leave the ring, and AJ comes back. He does a phenomenal forearm. And that, boys and girls, means he is no longer on the injured list. He can freaking bring some hurt to people. I'm excited because AJ Styles, man, he is so good. And this is awesome. The OC look like beasts, man. I loved it all. The presentation was on point. It was really good. And like I said, the OC, they made them feel like a big deal. And it's really, I think, finally, like, long overdue for them to really get that prominent push. I feel like it's going to happen now. Fingers crossed.
Nah.
Shawn Michaels and the Road Dogg, Jesse James of Generation DX, they had their opportunity to present on the draft. And again, really cool to see, especially Generation DX, man. They just get so much love from everyone still. It's really cool to see. And I just wish that we could get one more generation like DX, like just proper match, you know, like just one more. It'd be really cool. I mean, I know it's kind of hard now with Triple H's situation, but still, one can hope, man. Oh yeah, we could do it on WK23. Damage Control is going to SmackDown. That's going down. That's going to be good. I heard someone say, oh, good. Bailey gets to annoy you a lot or something like that. Blah, blah. Yeah. I lost my train of thought because Damage Control is going to SmackDown. Yeah, but now Michael Cole and Bayley, you know, they have this thing, you know, where Michael Cole gets annoyed or something. But yeah, so that's going to be very interesting, especially since all the rumors where they were breaking up, but maybe not now. Maybe they changed their mind. Maybe, I don't know. Everything's smoothed over. But they can continue the storyline at least, because remember, Io Sky is supposed to have a opportunity to fight for the belt against Bianca Belair. So at least that story can still make sense, or at least continue to play out. Even though Backlash is next week, guys. Can you all believe Backlash is already here? Like, wow, what's already here? Backlash. Can't believe it. Whoa. So look, Damage Control though, that being said, man, I like Damage Control. I think Io Sky. I think that, you know, Dakota Kai and Bayley, like, it's a good combo, man. And I remember when they first came back together, how excited I was for all the possibilities of what could be. So hopefully now that they're on the Blue brand, we can see some of that really play out. I mean, look, they've accomplished a lot. People forget they were the tag team champions for a while there. So, you know, we might see Bayley get a chance to get the belt back again, which from memory, I don't think she ever lost. You know, did she ever lose the belt, or she got injured and then she just had to? I can't remember. It's been so long ago now. But let me know in the comments below. Are you excited to see Damage Control? And would you want to see Bayley champion again on SmackDown? Are you excited? Let me know. Shinsuke Nakamura going to Raw. Does that mean that there's no more going to be Rick Booze and all of that? The whole thing? Because now it looks like they're just really focusing on making Nakamura look like a beast on his own, which is, hey, I have no problemo with that. Bring back hardstyle, man. Like, make him look like a big deal, like a beast. Let him do his thing. Let Rick Booze do his thing now, even though he seemed to have lost some momentum. But hey, I'm really excited about this because Shinsuke Nakamura, I don't even think, has he even ever held like a heavyweight, like a bigger belt? I think he hasn't. I think he's been intercontinental maybe, and that's about it or something. So give him a belt, let him freaking run wild, because Shinsuke Nakamura is legit really one of the greatest wrestlers. Like, he's just not really given a lot of time to really showcase that these days, but guys, he's legit. So I'm excited to see what he does on Raw. Matter of fact, this is his first time on Raw, just so you guys know. And I just want to also point this out, that there was a point where Shinsuke Nakamura was getting an interview, like a promo, and he was being interviewed, and then Karrion Kross came and attacked him. So I like that they're still continuing that feud and that story. That's all very interesting and cool stuff. Does that mean Karrion Kross is also going to end up on Raw? I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. We'll find out on Monday. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn from NXT. They're the NXT Tag Team Champions, and they got drafted to SmackDown. I love to see call-ups, and this is one of those ones that is well-earned, well-deserved, and I can't wait to see what they do on the main roster. This is really cool, and I think that, you know, just one of the highlights of these draft-type situations is whether or not you're going to get some call-ups from NXT. Now, I don't really like calling call-ups because I think that a lot of people who are on NXT, it's just more of a third brand. You know, you have some really good heavyweights over there who are definitely not, you know, just learning the ropes. You know, you've got some people who are actual power players, genuine, legit wrestlers who are over there. And, you know, it's some people like to call it a developmental brand, and I like it to them calling it a developmental brand when it's convenient for them to do so, like when the AEW and the Wars was going on, say, hey, we're just a developmental brand, you know, hey, so, you know. But in reality, I think they should just leave it as a third brand, and, you know, don't put any labels on it. Just let it be NXT, because NXT has a lot of talent. I'm talking really good talent, especially now they have NXT Level Up as well. Let the NXT Level Up kind of be more the developmental brand if you had to label something that, but NXT is more of a third brand, so they've got a lot of talent, and seeing these guys get called up along with the women's NXT champion. So Indy Hartwell got called up as well. Like, how cool is that, man? Like, 2 NXT call-ups back to back. Shawn Michaels, I'm sorry, you've lost 2 of your belts. Well, they won't bring the belts, so nah, they'll probably just lose the belts on NXT or relinquish them. But it would be cool if they brought him up just for the hell of it, just for a while even. It would be kind of fun. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to see these call-ups? Who else do you think they should call up from NXT? Let me know in the comments below. The main event went down. KO, Sami Zayn, your tag team champions. They went up against the Usos in a rematch to get their belts back. And let me tell you, this had so much tension, so many expectations, because throughout the whole show tonight, there was hinted that Paul Heyman and Solo had something planned with the, of course, blessing of the tribal chief. And it was like, okay, what's going to happen? Is Solo going to completely just dismantle the Usos? What's going on? But the match played out, and it didn't get a chance to get to that point, because as Solo started to come out, and he, mind you, he only came out after Heyman received a phone call, and it was Roman, obviously, and he's like, okay, yep, I just got the call. Solo, it is your night, right? So it's all been this whole tonight's the night, and it's like, Solo, it's your night. So basically, we're expecting Solo to go down there and kick some major Uso ass. At least that's what I was thinking. But what happened was Riddle absolutely threw a spanner in the works and ended up taking freaking Solo out the equation for a moment. They went backstage, they're fighting and stuff like that. Haluva kick from Sami for the W. So they retain, which is cool, because I didn't want them to lose their belts yet. I'm sure none of you guys did either. So it's good to see them get the W. But now the Usos are in big trouble because they didn't win. And Roman's not going to be happy about that. And they dedicated the match to Roman, which is like, bro, like, why would you do that? Because if you lose, now you look like you got egg on your face. So this is going to be very interesting to see what happens next. Will we get the next part of this on Raw, or do we have to wait all the way till next week? I mean, surely we're going to find out something on Raw as far as the Usos and their fate. Now, if the Usos end up on Raw, oh my gosh, that's going to be so telling, the story. And oh, the story is so good, isn't it, guys? This is so freaking good. So I'm really excited to see how this all plays out. This is just really storytelling at its best. And when it all was said and done, it showed Solo in the distance staring, you know, down the Usos and stuff. And so tense, man. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm so excited for this. I just think, like, this is some really, really, really good storytelling. And, you know, the Usos, man, you kind of feel sorry for them a little bit, don't you? Your heartstrings, you know, you're pulling the heartstrings. Like, oh, you poor guys. You're going to get beat down by Daddy Roman. But guys, let me know what you guys think about this whole storyline. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen with the Usos. What will be their fate? Let me know in the comments below. This was a very solid episode of WWE Smackdown. It was really good, really juicy. Nothing but just absolute straight entertainment from the beginning to the end. And if I was going to rate this, I would definitely be giving this a freaking 9.99999999999999999.